All right, so I want to give you guys a little bit of like why degrees. Has anybody ever wondered this? Like, why are there 360 degrees in a circle? What the hell sense does that make? Show of hands. And the rest of you have just been sleepwalking through life. You just accepted this blindly.
How many other things do we just accept blindly?
It's math, so it must just be magic. No. This is horrible. Okay. I want to tell you this. There is no reason from the universe that 360 degrees ought to make a circle. Okay? No good reason for this. They are just a definition, like how long is a foot, right? There is similarly not a good reason for that. There's a historical reason, but it's not a good one. Okay? So let's talk about this. Okay? Does anybody know anything about Babylonians? Yes. Trevor knows some. What do you know about Babylonians?
I think they like to count by sixes or 12s or something like that.
Close, yeah. They had some weird counting thing. That's good.
They were invaded.
They were invaded.
Pretty sure.
They also had hanging gardens, is an acceptable answer.
No, you spelled weird wrong.
Thanks. All right, so presumably Babylonians do not have a great deal of effect upon your daily existence, except they kind of do, because they're the reason there's 60 minutes in an hour. They really are, I swear. So the weird counting is actually 60s. And there's a good reason that they would do this too. They were very calculation minded. Their society, like their math system wasn't disseminated to the people enough that there would be momentum. So when they wanted to change something, they just did. So when they figured out that 60 was a convenient way to count because it's divisible by lots of things, right? This gives you shorthand for easy fractions, like fractions you come up with most of the time, because 60 is divisible by 2, 3, 6, 5, 12, right? Like lots of the kind of small group sizes. So this becomes convenient to work with for fractions. But we live in a slightly different society, and so 60 doesn't have a great deal of effect on your daily life, right? Yeah, it'd maybe be better if it was based on tens. There's a good reason for 10, right? You guys know the reason you count base 10? Yeah, you have 10 fingers.
Did they have 6 then?
No, and they didn't have 60 either. Yeah, they thought about this a little bit. They came up with 60 for a good reason with fractions. But it's not a good reason nowadays because now we have better notation for fractions. So the thing about 60 doesn't seem to crop up in this circle, right? So let me draw this circle that you guys had. And then we did this, right? We said, okay, there's a radius, right? And then if I try to draw triangles that are R on each side, I hope you notice you fit 6 of these in here exactly. Yeah? And then because you're Babylonian, you say, of course, we should split each of those things into 60 pieces. You guys see this?
Yeah.
There's your 360 degrees. That's really honest to God why this exists today, right? So is noticing this kind of cool thing about triangles and then counting in 60s? Does that make sense in your life?
So did they almost have a calendar and shorter by like 5 days?
I mean, you would love to, right? You would love to say, well, there's 360 days more or less in a year, and so you traverse a degree every day, right? We'd like that to be the case, but it's not, and you can't use it to keep track of time. But the Babylonian civilization existed for hundreds of years. If they had tried that, 5 days a year adds up after a while, and pretty soon you're trying to plant your crops in, well, January, and it's not working.
Wasn't that an actual problem with a lot of calendars?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of calendars have this issue where you have to add or subtract days eventually because they get off. In fact, our current calendar has this problem. Yeah, you have leap years, and then every once in a while there's a leap second.
Yeah.
And in 19-something, they added 11 days. I don't know. Anyway, so there's calendar issues, right, which are vaguely related to this. But the thing I want to get across is there's not a great reason for degrees.
Where does pi come in?
Ah, where does pi come in? So let's do away with the Babylonians.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to shut this off and restart.